John Winters, Supermarket Sleuth in New Zealand, talking to you once again about supermarkets this week in the UK and in Australia. And we start with the UK. It's the UK's first COVID-19 lockdown with data from e-commerce platform Shopify showing how much the purchasing buying habits of UK shoppers has changed. Insights from more than 100,000 merchants shows skincare lotion and moisturiser was the category that saw the most dramatic increases in sales, up 109%, as the country adjusted to being at home more. Not being able to shop at a cafe on the way to the office, coffee sales shot up 65%, with tea sales growing by 38%. Many people also enjoyed their favourite tipple at home as pubs and bars were forced to shut their doors. Alcoholic beverage sales rose by 97% year on year. Sales of cooking and baking ingredients were up 35%, and sales of dog supplies shot up 37% as people looked for companionship from pets through not having the interchange with family and friends they'd normally have when out of the house. On the other side of the coin, time away from the office and social events hit sales of more formal fashion items. Sales of shirts and tops tumbled 374%. Wow, how's that for a fall? We also turned to comfort foods. Sales of confectionery were up over 48%, as was beer, presumably not together though. Now we move to Amazon. Less than 2 weeks after debuting its new Just Walk Out grocery store format in the UK, the online business has opened a second outlet in London. The Amazon Fresh store in Wembley Park is similar in size to the first one in Ealing, featuring the same cutting-edge sensor and camera technology, allowing shoppers to pop up items in their bag and then automatically be billed when they leave. Both stores stock hundreds of new by Amazon own label items such as milk and bread and Our Selection premium lines, all sourced from the UK. There are also branded products and items from Morrisons and Booths. Amazon has pre-existing ties with both these in its grocery line online operation. Reflecting the relatively small size of the stores, the range focuses on convenience with food to go, ready meals and everyday essentials. Amazon has already confirmed its plans to open more of the high-tech grocery stores in heavy footfall areas across London and look at other city centres. And if you didn't pick this up when I spoke about it before, when you go in the store, the ceiling is full of cameras and sensors, and these watch you and watch what you put in your bag and also note it for when you're billed, and you have to log in, scan in like you do with COVID with the sensors with an app, and that then the app works with you walking around and so on, and that's how it all happens. The only problem they did have was that little children when they go in grocery stores get very bored, and they were picking up things and putting them in other places. So that did confuse the sensors a bit, but I think they're working their way around that. Now to other news. Having launched its new Swift convenience store format earlier, Iceland has opened the doors to another site in Benton, Newcastle upon Tyne. Converted from a former Iceland store, the frozen specialist said the new concept had been designed to provide a simple, easy to shop food store with the watchwords fast, fresh, local. The 1,700 square foot store stocks double the range of the former Iceland outlet, with nearly 3,000 lines covering grocery, chilled, fresh, frozen, alcohol, tobacco and food to go. Its novel layout is said to break down the traditional barriers between frozen and chilled food to provide a complete range of meal solutions. The store is on a busy road next to a major metro station hub, and the retailers saying it was the perfect location for its convenience store trial. The move will probably attract others, but it comes after the convenience sector benefited from consumers shopping locally during the pandemic. Iceland has also been one of the strongest performers in the supermarket sector over the last year, driven by its online business and successful food warehouse operation. Analysis suggests that hundreds of sites in its estate are suited for conversion to the new format. A study by shopper and location data specialist Casey for trade publication The Grocer looked at the existing Iceland chain and found 235 stores closely matching the debut site in Benton for factors such as small footprint, high levels of passing footfall and type of local shopper. Said Casey senior consultant Charlotte King, looking across the Iceland estate at similar locations, a further 235 stores could be suitable for the new convenience model, targeting smaller stores located in areas of high footfall and with a suitable level of surrounding residential population. That's the end of her quote. Casey felt that the suitability of many Iceland stores could enable the retailer to quickly expand the Swift concept if it proves successful. Turning now to the discounters and deposit return schemes, Lidl has begun trialling one at select stores across Scotland ahead of the Scottish Government's plans for a nationwide programme. The deposit machines allow bottles and cans that were originally bought in Lidl to be returned in exchange for a redeemable voucher worth up to £2.50. They've been introduced in stores in Hamilton, Edinburgh, Glasgow and Dundee. If tests prove successful, the machines will be rolled out to all of Lidl's 105 stores across Scotland in time for a planned national deposit return scheme due to be launched in July 2022. This will involve charging shoppers a 20p refundable deposit on all drink cans and bottles. Plans to introduce a DRS in England were recently pushed back a year to 2024 due to the pandemic disruption. Now we move back to our traditional supermarkets with a story on Morrisons loyalty card. The Yorkshire-based supermarket group's overhauling its More loyalty scheme with a move away from collecting points to giving instant discounts and other offers. The current scheme was launched 5 years ago and involves customers collecting points on purchases in its stores and petrol stations. 5,000 points can then be exchanged for a £5 voucher. Frankly, that reward is pathetic. We have a similar scheme in New Zealand where 2,000 points earn you a $15 voucher, which is equivalent to £7.50 in the UK. Morrisons said it was making changes following customer feedback. From May, points collecting will end with a new benefit then introduced. These include instant discounts and personalised coupons offering money off the member's next shop. The overhaul will see the retailer scrapping plastic loyalty cards in favour of basing the scheme around the More app, containing the digital coupons and offers for scanning at the till. Customers have until August the 9th to convert existing points to £5 vouchers, which will then be valid for 56 weeks from the date of issue. Both Tesco and Sainsbury's have revamped their loyalty schemes in the last couple of years to make them more relevant to current shopping trends. The changes also support their fight against the discounters. Now, how's this for a new idea? Asda is to introduce hairdressers and nail bars to stores after the £6.8 billion takeover of the supermarket giant is completed. New owners Moshin and Zuba Issa are looking to cut the amount of floor space dedicated to food by a quarter once the purchase from Walmart goes through. According to the Sunday Times, they intend to replace food aisles with cafes, hair salons and nail bars as part of a larger plan to keep people shopping for longer. The Blackburn-born brothers, who've made a fortune by revamping petrol station forecourts, completed their purchase of Asda in February, but it now requires clearance from the Competition and Markets Authority, an outcome expected by April the 20th. Now for some news from suppliers. With British workers expected to start returning to offices in the coming months, Weetabix has extended its on-the-go breakfast range by adding a coffee-based variant. The limited edition, called Cafe Latte line, is made using Colombian coffee and will be on sale in 250ml bottles priced marked at £1. It's already started to roll out into the wholesale and convenience channels. Sales in Weetabix drinks division have been impacted during the pandemic as consumers stuck at home return to some traditional breakfast products. It's about time the Weetabix equivalent in Australia, Weet-Bix, in Australasia, Weet-Bix introduced a coffee variant in its Up and Go range, considering how popular coffee is in both countries. Moving now to traditional cold beverages, Suntory Beverage and Food is adding a raspberry ripple flavour to its Lucozade Energy range. Available in plain and price marked packs at 380ml, Raspberry Ripple is the latest to join the Lucozade Energy flavours range, which contributed £60.7 million worth of sales to the energy category last year. The launch of the new flavour will be supported by a social media marketing campaign as well as total brand activity throughout the year. I remember how when I was a child I used to have Lucozade when I was sick in bed, and my mother used to bring me the bottle of Lucozade in a glass, and I'd help myself and to give me a bit more energy while I was sick. So it's changed, of course, because it was sold. It used to belong to a pharmaceutical company, GlaxoSmithKline, and they sold it because it really wasn't core range. And now it's gone to a beverage manufacturer. They're going to do something with it, which is good. I'm pleased to see that, because it did go into the doldrums for many years. Staying with cold beverages, with the unveiling of a caffeine-free Pepsi Max, has launched what is claimed to be a first in the no-sugar cola segment outside of diet products. Pepsi Max No Caffeine is now available in store in 300ml 8 multi-packs at a recommended price of £5.29 and 2 litre bottles at a recommended price of £2.59. The new edition taps into the caffeine-free cola segment, which is growing ahead of the total cola market amid consumer concerns about caffeine intake. And now from cold beverages to chocolate. Wonderful. What's going on with chocolate? As confectionery groups scramble to reduce added sugar, chocolate sweetened with cocoa fruit pulp will soon be on supermarket shelves, with Nestlé ready to launch its INCOA bar. Using the cocoa fruit pulp, normally discarded to flavour products, reduces sugar and cuts food waste while boosting the income of cocoa farmers. This means they can upcycle their cocoa by selling both the pulp and the beans. The company is launching INCOA, which has no added sugar, in supermarkets in France and the Netherlands, with other European markets to follow. And if it rocks, then it will soon spread to other countries. Nestlé is sourcing the raw material from cocoa farms in Brazil, but also working with partners in West Africa to see if pulp production could work there. Cocoa farmers could boost their income by 20 to 40% if they also sold the pulp. Fruit pulp doesn't come cheap. INCOA bars on Dutch retailer Albert Heijn's website cost about 50% more than any other dark chocolates. But Von Mallow says that although the cost meant pulp was not suitable for replacing sugar in mainstream products, there may be other uses for cocoa fruit chocolate like baking. Industry major Barry Callebaut, meanwhile, is getting ready to supply its wholesale chocolate to chefs and artisans. It's also set up a dedicated brand, Cabos Natural, to sell cocoa fruit ingredients to customers like Mondelez International to use in fruity snacks. Now, we move to Australia. Having started to get involved in e-commerce in other markets, Aldi has suggested that a move online in Australia will be happening soon. The discounter's local chief executive, Tom Daunt, said it was an inevitable growth area and would likely start with Aldi selling alcohol and its special buys non-food products online, rather than its full grocery range. But he's staying tight-lipped about when, but said Aldi had been watching the space in Australia for some time, with the COVID-19 crisis heightening the need to enter the channel. Daunt also revealed plans to open 20 more Aldi stores across Victoria, New South Wales, Western Australia and South Australia this year. Earlier this month, Aldi said it would consider an online service as long as it didn't compromise the price of products. Now, from supermarkets to suppliers. In an Australian first, a group of companies have worked together to produce Australia's first soft plastic food wrapper made with recycled content. Food-grade recycled soft plastic packaging is a major missing link in Australia's bid to improve waste management and build a circular economy. This is due to a lack of both collection and processing infrastructure, making it difficult to keep waste out of landfill and impossible to meet demands for packaging with recycled content. The prototype KitKat wrapper, representing Australia's opportunity to close the loop on recycling soft plastics, has been created by a coalition of companies having a shared vision. Between them, they brought their individual expertise together to collect and process waste soft plastic, bring it back into oil and create the prototype wrapper. Turning soft plastic back into oil is the only way forward for plastic waste to take it into a food-safe wrapper. It's innovative Australian technology ready for commercial rollout in Australia. And finally, the Australian-made campaign AMCL is to launch the first ever Australian Made Week. It'll be running from May the 24th to 31st, encouraging shoppers to actively focus their buying activities on genuine Aussie products, while celebrating and supporting local makers and growers around the country. The team at AMCL say shoppers can get involved by looking for and buying products with the green and gold Australian made, Australian grown logo, spreading the word through social media about the week. Considering the flow-on effects of your buying decisions, when you buy Australian made and Australian grown products, you're helping to support local businesses and communities across Australia. And also, the last way shoppers can get involved, encourage friends and family to do the same. Right, that's it for this week. I'll be back again soon, probably after Easter this time. In the meantime, have a good week, and you can catch me on my Supermarket Sleuth Magic Talk site on Facebook, and I'm also live on Magic Talk on a Saturday morning. Just go to magic.co.nz, click on Talk, and I'm on at 10:45 on Weekend Live. But if you can't because of the time zone problems, then you can listen to what I say on my Facebook page. Bye for now.